It's very, very exciting to be involved with a company where their mission statement is they want to be the biggest and the best by paying the distributors the most money. And you know, there's a 30-year track record. They've never been late on a check. Everybody's happy with the way they've supported us. And we just have to go out and do our job and talk to people.
When I hear the word Nu Skin, I just really think of love. You know, I think about the difference Nu Skin has made in so many of our lives, the quality of life that we have because of Nu Skin.
I cannot imagine my life without being involved in this journey that we've taken.
It's really refreshing to see a company like Nu Skin, be at the forefront of this kind of movement and really solidifying their name globally in the hearts and the minds of so many millions and millions and millions.
And I couldn't believe it. I looked at Blake and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. I'm going to have to raise them too, because he was the same age as my son Blake.
They were young, but they were professional. They were professional looking. They obviously we had big dreams, but I could tell that they also had big dreams, you know.
I mean, they've just kind of stayed the course and always been there, and when you're in the down times or the difficult times, that's when you find out what people are really made of.
So when we went to the company, we met up with Steve and Blake, and we were pretty much impressed. These guys were very sincere, very, should I say, down to earth.
But I went to Blake's office and I said, Blake, I'm ready to go from part-time to full-time. What assurances do I have that you're going to be around? Because I want to do this for my children, which we have, but in the future, my grandchildren. And he said, there are no assurances, but let me tell you what my goals are, that I'm building this for my children and my grandchildren. And I remember looking at him and believing him and just saying, okay, I think I'm really ready to go. But it was so small, and we always called it, Mayberry.
Mayberry.
Like at the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
There was such a great show, and it was this quaint little town. And
oh my gosh.
Provo was this Mayberry, and you would go in there, and everybody was so nice. And
I was out here for the first time in September of '89, and it didn't look like this. It was a small building in a small little office. But it was as impressive back then as it is now.
I came down and met with Blake and Steve in their offices on the east side of University Avenue on Center Street, the old building before this building, and I had a conversation with them, tried to find out who they were, what their commitments were.
The place was kind of crazy. There were multiple people in offices, and some of the offices had 4 to 6 desks in them.
go into this little building down the road, and 2-story, and I remember Blake had a desk, and I remember there was a couch, and it was like you were walking in someone's little living room.
When I first met Nu Skin in Provo, I was overwhelmed. I mean, I felt so welcome. Like they were glad to see me. Didn't know who in the world I was.
After I attended an opportunity meeting, I asked if I could come and visit the company. And I have to believe that at that stage of the company, it caused people pause in the recruiting process.
My first experience with Nu Skin was in December of '85. I went back to the company to meet the company. But there'd been a big snowstorm the day before, and the second-story roof caved in and fell down. All of our Nu Skin products fell down on the first floor accountant's office. And Blake and Steve and Sandy were drying off shampoos and reboxing them.
I can remember going back to the beginning, meeting Laura at a meeting, and a typical meeting was, you had a drawing board, you had either a chalkboard with chalk, or you had a magic marker and an eraser that was erasable.
Well, when we got started in the business, there was this new little device called a fax machine. And we told people they couldn't do the business unless they got a fax machine. And the only way we communicated was all day long sending a written out fax to 100 to 150 people and their fax machines to keep them abreast of what's going on.
The more I learned about the products and the more we learned about the company, when we went out to Utah and visited the corporate headquarters, we'd always go in there and, oh, love it, love it. People were great. we'd walk outside that building and we'd look at each other and say, what's in there? There is something really, really special.
I think because the product works. And company is very good at developing, doing the research, finding good people to come in and develop new product that works on us. And you can see the difference demonstrated.
Everything that we did with Nu Skin, the company, was based on that goal. Long-term stable business. Would it support that for the long term?
Oh, Nu Skin has grown because innovation is the heart and soul of this company.
But I remember one of the most vivid memories is when the new corporate office building went up, and we were so excited. Coming over the high-rise, you could actually see the American flag flying from the building, and that was kind of like, we're home. There's Nu Skin.
But I remember when all of a sudden they're going to start building this new high-rise, and oh, I couldn't believe, in the warehouse that we were going to have that.
Yeah.
It was like a dream come true. And now with the newest building, I mean, I just wish people could really journey back to see how little we had.
Nu Skin's contribution through Force for Good Foundation and initiatives like Nourish the Children have really made a major difference in so many people's lives. And more than anything, I think it teaches us in the field to also lead by example, because we watched Nu Skin do it.
Oh, I think about our trip to Malawi. I think that's proof right there when you look at the change that's happened in that country because of Nu Skin and their Nourish the Children initiative, the ability to not just hand people food, but teach them how to be more productive within their society.
It's very, very exciting to be part of the Nu Skin family. And you really do feel like you have a worldwide family that does a lot of good in the world with Force for Good and with Nourish the Children. You really feel very proud to be a part of the Nu Skin family.
So I think doing Nu Skin, the good part is we find all the positive force, the positive thinking people all come and join and do this business. And we make more friends than we ever knew before we started Nu Skin.
We just kind of followed the plan, followed along the system, and kind of stayed in the vehicle, and Nu Skin helped us become successful, not the reverse.
But I just see Nu Skin getting bigger and bigger and more people's lives being positively impacted.
Things have changed. Obviously, we've grown, we've got the buildings, infrastructure, all that. But as much as things have changed, things have stayed the same.
It's more valuable to be one team than to have one dream and to set those goals and achieve them together. And when we're one and we have that kind of unity together, we accomplish so much more, and it's so much more enjoyable.
But I can honestly say that Nu Skin has always been there for the distributor, and they've never done anything that's going to undermine the distributors.
I find that when new distributors come up to me and when I meet them for the first time, after we've talked for a while, the number one question they have is, what would be your number one word of advice to a new distributor that's just coming into this business? And I am very clear on what that is. The advice is that no matter what, do not quit.